Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mama.
What are you doing?
Making muffins.
You're making muffins.
She's a big helper.
Are we going somewhere today?
We going to be
We're not going to the beach. Where are we going?
shopping.
We're not
hold
going shopping.
Where they going?
What on earth are you doing?
That's the
That's the best part, Mom.
Junie, where'd your spoon go? Yeah, use the spoon.
It's more fun either.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
It's early, but we promised June that she could make muffins, so Nathan just woke her up early. We are going out of town today, which we're going out of town, that's right. This seems to be a common thing. We have been gone every single weekend for the month of March. And we're just embracing it. We're a little tired. We're ready to kind of slow down on the traveling a bit. But we're excited. We're going to make some coffee real quick. I've got to, oddly enough, you know, we talk about this all the time. Just the weather here is crazy. So now the lows are like, last night it was 32. Tonight is supposed to be like 33. The next night like 34. So we had shut off the heaters and everything because it wasn't getting below like 40 something. And our timer for our heater actually burnt up because it ended up getting so hot in there. So now I'm gonna have to, well, we're making coffee first, then we're gonna run down there, make sure everything's set up. When you have plants in the greenhouse, that's the only thing is this is a very vulnerable stage for them when they're starting to germinate, and if they dry out you can just completely kill them, which happened to be what happened last week. Some of our trays got dried out, and so feeling a little nervous about that. So I'm gonna water everything really good, go ahead and roll up the sides because it is supposed to be
60
today, and so when the sun's out it just cakes that greenhouse. So coffee first, then we'll go outside.
You look like you need coffee.
I need coffee, yeah.
Is not going on the trip. You understand me? Hey, you wanna go wake Sissy up?
All right, we are trying to leave. What are you doing?
I am looking for the tire pressure gauge.
Okay, so we got the kids loaded, or loading. Say hi. Hi. All right, we are about to be on our way. Where are we going, Nathan?
We are going to...
No, let's not tell them. Let's
Okay.
not tell them. Psych. What you doing?
Relaxing.
Relaxing.
I didn't know you had the camera on.
Oh, what would you have said if you did know? You were working?
Relaxing.
Okay. Check out that view. So Nate and I made it to Missouri. Can I sit with you?
Sure.
We toured the Agri-Grow main office, the farm, the factory. That is why we are here. So we're in what part of Missouri?
Donovan,
Missouri. I'm not gonna lie. It's a small town.
It is small town.
Small
It's a
town.
cute little small town.
It is. And so they put us up in this beautiful cabin. The guy we've been working with is Luke. He's been super, super cool. He actually has a market farm. So tonight we're going to go visit his farm, talk to him, show you guys kind of his operation. But we've kind of hit on in the past that we're trying these different prebiotic amendments for our soil. You guys know soil is something we've been really trying to establish in our pastures and things like that, and finding just a good option is something we've kind of struggled with. And so Luke kept trying to get in touch with us. We were kind of hard people to get in touch with. After about 2 months, one of us finally responded to an email. And so we were happy to kind of come down here. As you can see, we've got the kiddos. They're enjoying this. It's a stunning view, a great weekend. So it's been nice.
Yep, it has been real nice. Luke, Luke came to our farm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Made some recommendations, brought some stuff, and so we're doing some trials right now. And,
yeah.
We're excited because without having any results, we like the product. So.
Yeah. Yeah, so we sent all of our soil off to a lab to get tested. And so we've been working towards that. And we're going to tell you guys more as we know more. But it was just a nice chance. You guys know that when we partner with people, we like to put a face behind them. We like to see how they're operating. We like to feel good about it. And so that's kind of what this weekend was. Just asking questions, seeing their facility, and really seeing what they're about. And obviously they put us up in this glorious place and have just been super, super sweet. So I'm excited for you guys to get to meet Luke and his family and see his farm. He's been kind of bouncing around for a while. He's been in several different states, starting homesteads and market farms, and so he knows what he's doing in that field, and I've been able to just kind of ask him a lot of questions, and he works with a lot of people in the market gardening realm that actually really know what they're doing too, and so that's been kind of cool just to pick his brain on some stuff.
Oh yeah.
I could take a nap.
There's another seat right over there.
But I wouldn't be as warm. Alright, well, we're going to sit here and snuggle for a minute, but the next part of this vlog, we will be at Luke's farm and let you guys get to know him a bit better.
It's Luke with Whispering Willow Farms. I'm so excited you're here.
It's my line.
Oh.
Although the kids were asking, when are we getting to Barbie's farm? All right, guys, this is my friend Luke. What is the name of your farm?
That's a good question.
Does your farm have a name?
We don't have a name yet.
Okay, so stay tuned.
Yeah, stay tuned. In the past, I've been Liquid Life Farm Management.
Okay.
At a location. So
gotcha.
liquid meaning mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feeling that.
Concept. And so we've farmed kind of all over. We've been in Arizona, we've been in Missouri, and yeah, here we are.
So Luke was telling us about his vision for this, which you guys know I'm a dreamer, so I'm really feeling this. So why don't you tell us a little bit about what your
So it's all about food authenticity. So people can come, they can see how it's processed, how it's grown, where it's grown, and the whole 9 yards all the way up. So everything right here, real open concept design to where they can see where post-harvest is taking place. The walk-in cooler is right there to where they can come and reach in. We'll eventually have some countertops around here for like the produce, like that are not refrigerated produce, tomatoes, squash, things like that are daily harvest. That'll all be on like racks right there along the wall after it's all trimmed out. And then there'll be like a checkout here right at the saw. You check out with your card and you take your veg, and there'll be picnic tables.
And you were saying it was going to be like an honor system.
Yeah, probably not manned.
Yeah.
Because then your farm staff can actually be out working. They don't have to run. If there's an emergency and oh no, I didn't have a credit card, but I have cash. We might have a cash box.
Yeah.
But hopefully it wouldn't just like take us out from the work that needs to be done on the farm.
Yeah. So did you install all this sink and everything?
Yeah. So I found all this. This is like one of those like farmer. If you look and hunt and pack, I found this stainless steel sink, 17 foot long. This sink is 180 gallons to give you like a volume wise.
Babe.
It fits the the large scale spinner for your lettuce bubbler. I got that sink for $400.
No way.
So on Craigslist, I had to drive like 6 hours to get it.
But still.
Got it. So everything's plumbed in, like lettuce bubbler is plumbed in. I put the jet on the outside, on the other wall, so
Yeah.
your staff isn't hearing the crazy
Yeah.
jet engine stuff. Everything goes through here. Sorry it's a wreck right now, but we're not
This is
production.
actually really clean.
So we have everything would be drying. I've tried different fans and styles, roller racks so all your workflow is right
Yeah.
here.
I love that.
You're all right here.
Very efficient.
So-
We're all about those efficient systems.
So yeah. Oh, it's winter and there's nothing growing. Oh, how cool.
No, it actually looks really good. Look at that chard. And your tomatoes.
Water. Get some water. Get log vinegar and water in there.
What is this?
That's cilantro as a microgreen.
Nice.
I bet that is fantastic.
Yeah, try pieces, ready to be harvested.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean,
I love cilantro.
All right, Nathan is trying this cilantro microgreens
All right. Wes,
at the Naked
cilantro.
Hog. This is for you. Cilantro or soap?
cilantro.
Cilantro or soap?
Cilantro soap.
One of our friends took cilantro and ate it, and then he cut off soap. He's like, you people who think cilantro tastes like soap, no it doesn't.
He's hilarious.
Not even close.
You need to get to know Wes. He's one of those like on the rise, like working.
All right, Luke, I got a question.
What?
So you've got charred kale, and then we got garlic in the middle.
no,
No?
it's not garlic.
What is this? Onion?
I don't know. I think it's dill. Is that dill?
That is not dill.
What's dill look like?
Not this at all.
Is it an onion?
No, this looks
don't-
just like garlic.
It's not garlic.
Did you intentionally plant it?
I put something in the paper pot. I don't remember what it was. I
Okay.
forgot. And
So
then like
is
4
this-
weeks later it came up. This could be some onion. It's not
Is
garlic.
this standard though, where you're like growing things like this? So with your tomatoes, for instance, are you growing like lettuce underneath your tomatoes?
I do this at the homestead level when I'm a past market gardener and I'm lazy and I do paper pot transplanting.
Okay.
So I paper pot transplant all this. So on my paper pot, I'll seed everything out, 20, 30, whatever I want.
Yeah.
And then I'll pull it where I want it to.
Do you
and
feel like this is more efficient doing it this way? Do you have an issue with compaction at all? No.
The reason I did it this way was because Swiss chard and kale kind of partner well for temperature control,
Yeah.
and this tunnel isn't heated yet,
Yeah.
and that's really all I wanted. I wanted one bed that I could row cover, and so I pulled it all out on the same thing. I also, on this side, we replanted it, but we already harvested all the kohlrabi,
Gotcha.
my
So
favorite vegetable. But
ours too, we ferment ours.
I don't know about fermenting it.
So
Right.
you did here. You planted your tomatoes and then your lettuce on either side, which I really, really like. How are you going to trellis these? Are these determinate, indeterminate?
These are all indeterminate. They're going to be vine trellis with string
Gotcha.
and
Cool.
vine clips.
Very nice. Okay, so something else too I'd love for you to talk about, because I know that my audience, I've never talked about this, and that is a paper pot transplanter. I think they are really, really cool. Can you kind of give a rundown on that? Because if any of you guys try to look that up, they are pricey, but you are a market farmer. And so people who are maybe wanting to step into that market gardening, market farming world, do you think it's worth it?
Depends on where you're at in your journey.
Right.
It was definitely not worth it for me when I bought it. 100% not worth it. I locked up, after you buy your trays, your paper, you're locking up $3,500.
Wow.
100% not worth it. My soil at that farm couldn't pull it well.
Yeah.
This is great because I've really got my soil to where I want it, and the compost is there. It pulls really well with the right moisture content.
Yeah.
My Arizona farm, not so much.
Yeah.
Terrible mistake.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it again. I kept it rather than sell it
Yeah.
because of it's really cool.
They're
Here.
so cool.
They're really, really cool. Here's what I love. I'll walk this way. Here's
Yeah,
what I love
okay.
about the paper pot system, and a couple of us are working on this. It's a different size. So a 10, they work as a base.
Yeah, so we have these.
they're hardy.
Yeah.
But they're the actual like 1x2
yeah.
rather than a 10-20, 10 inches by 20 inches.
Right.
And so they work as a base for your 10-20 flats.
Yep.
They're the easiest thing for a microgreen flat. I run all my microgreens through these. Number one, because if you do that system, the best part of the paper pot system, hands down, is the dibble board and your drop seeders. So your drop seeders.
Yeah, so can we explain this for a second and show it?
Yeah, so a drop seeder is simple gravity. You roll all your seeders in there, and this is specifically a paper pot drop seeder.
Right.
So all these holes are punched for the angles of your honeycomb.
Really cool.
And I call it honeycomb. I don't know if anybody else calls it.
You just started a trend.
For your paper chain. The honeycomb of the paper chain. Let me grab one.
I know, I have been like eyeing the paper pot transplanter for years now, and it's like one of those investments that like I can't justify, but I just think they're so cool.
At your scale, no.
Yeah.
If you're doing, 200 heads of lettuce
right.
A week,
like
100%.
If you're like selling produce, like really market gardening to sell produce, but yeah, we definitely couldn't justify it.
Oh, I guess. Oops. There's all of this at work. So
nice.
This one's done. You can kind of see the paper foam
yeah.
in there. So the way these work, you have these special stretchers.
See, that's kind of cool, right?
And they stretch out the paper foam. The paper, you place the paper on your rack that stretches them, and then you slide your delios. I don't know what they're called. They probably have a technical term. John would know it. Smallfarmworks.com. Give John a call today.
Can you throw in some Whispering Willow ads like that?
Buy this from John. This version's much better than Johnny's seed and cheaper. No, they're both great. They all have their purpose. And then you set it right there, fill it with soil, you're good to go. And so that's the comb. I'll leave the comb here. Your dibble board then will put the perfect dot right in the center of your hole.
That's perfect.
On every single hole, you pull them up, and then you have seeds. You take the drop seeder, and if you have it set right, it should easily. I broke it. You balance it just like, what's that game? Leverage?
Yeah.
The fun game? The little
I've never played it, but I trust you.
You played that as a child.
I don't feel like I have.
You're a child of the 90s. We didn't have TV. I mean, you're not 90s? Or you're
no,
80s?
I am. No, I'm 90s. I'm not even 30 yet.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so we're like this, and then you just drop those seeds in, give it a couple taps, and you roll all your excess seed down before you do that. Drop them, and then you can do another one like really, really quickly.
Yeah.
Now, here's a little promo for Michael Kilpatrick's team and Small Farm University. If you jump into Small Farm University, they have a microgreen cheat sheet for this.
Nice.
And you can do all your microgreens with the actual size trays and what all the pros like Ray and Michael are doing for all their microgreens. So, for example, I'm going to give a hypothetical. This is not it.
Okay.
But if you're doing a cilantro microgreen, they'll give you the full cheat sheet on how many drops. So 1 drop, you move it over a little bit, 2 drops, 3 drops, and then that maximizes your microgreen production.
Very cool.
And minimizes your seed input. And so it's really, really nice to have that perfect, consistent product over and over and over again, very, very quickly. Yeah. So you can seed out a tray that you're going to make, $40 a tray in a matter of seconds. Yeah. And you got to do that when you're doing it 200 times in an afternoon.
That's awesome. All right. So I am a sucker for production. And really when I kind of got into gardening, I wanted to be a market farmer. That was hard because Nathan had another job, and just realizing that like creating a market farm by myself was going to be a hard way to make a business work. So I started shifting, and that was a really hard shift for me personally, because when I had envisioned Whispering Willow Farm, this is what I had envisioned: tunnels upon tunnels, cat tunnels, like all these different spaces. And so I love visiting farms like yours because that was really where my inspiration.
Tunnels on tunnels I have too.
Well, no, but you have like good production. Like you've got all these plots lined up. You seem very efficient. You've got systems in place. That's what I love seeing. I don't think you have to do it on this grand scale to be efficient or productive.
Sure.
And so I love coming and visiting places like this because it kind of spurs like, this is where my vision for Whispering Willow Farm started, although I had to shift and work with like in my means. I know that I talk to you guys a lot about efficiency, which is something we are trying to put those systems in place on our farm. If you could give, maybe not even one piece of advice, but a piece of advice on how to run an efficient farm, what would be the first thing you would tell someone? Like if someone is watching this and you're the homesteader, the backyard gardener, but you're wanting to scale, you're wanting to go to market, you're wanting to sell, but you just don't even like know where to start, how to put systems in place, what would you tell them?
It depends on what scale you're trying to farm at.
Yeah.
If you want to be like labor input poor, you have to be tools input heavy.
Yeah.
Example, paper pot transplanter, drop seeders, automation, things that you're maximizing your time as the valuable input. If you want to be the farm that's going to scale quickly, infrastructure is what you are going to set up first. If you can do, and this is my 4th farm setup, so if you can set up your entire farm without being in full production, only like plant the crop, but be totally fine putting that entire crop in the compost pile. Don't try to sell the crop. Just feel your soil out. Don't waste your time at farmers markets. Don't waste your time trying to sell the product. If you can afford it. If you can, and that's the really tough line because you have so much outgoing money.
So you guys know we came up here, we talked to you guys previously in a few videos that Luke actually came and visited our farm, and he is the guy that is going to help us figure out our soils. And so this is what you're modeling on your farm. We are going to go in depth about this as we're doing trials with AgroGrow, but can you kind of hit on what it is? So when we mentioned to them, hey, we're doing these trials on our farm for our pastures, for our raised beds, for our in-ground space, you mentioned it was a prebiotic, but give just like a short little overview of when we mention that to them, this is really what we mean.
So AgroGrow is a liquid fertilizer manufacturer. We manufacture prebiotics, but we also offer a chelated liquid calcium. Those are the 2 main products. There's different formulations for the prebiotics that we do. The ones for home and garden line, small farms. If it's small bottles, it's called Bountiful Harvest, which is not a certified organic product, but it's 100% all natural. It includes some micronutrients and something that's really good for the foliage of the leaf to absorb all the like zinc and manganese and things like that. Ultra is our OMRI approved OMRI, if you don't know what that is, Organic Materials Review Institute. That's one of the leading registration companies for organic inputs into a farm. It's not certified organic because that's the food that you eat. It's a really big mess. Welcome to America, all those who are foreign. Over some crosswalk. This is Ultra, has 1 ounce per gallon, and literally you put some water in there, put 1 ounce in. It also has a little bit of my secret sauce, that's why it's a little bit darker. Molasses. Mix it with sugar. Okay, so that's a little trick of what's going on right here. When you increase your Brix level, it really helps decrease any of your sap-sucking insects. So if you've got aphids or small, anything that's sucking that sap, it'll be overdone by those sugars and the higher Brix level. So the healthier your soil is, the higher your Brix levels, the less pests you're going to have. You probably heard that in a lot of different things. A quick hack that you can kind of do, and it also helps feed microbial life, is add sugar. You can do that through blackstrap molasses is one of the best ways, really complex form. Super cheap. Add a couple ounces of that into your Ultra. It's going to boost your Ultra exponentially.
I've like never heard of that, so that's awesome. And you're just, are you overhead spraying all the foliage?
Yeah, so you just literally, you come through, you mist your foliage, get it nice and wet, almost like you were...
like treating it?
Yeah, just treating it. This is just a $10 hand gallon, or $10 2-gallon pump sprayer.
Very cool. Yeah, so we're excited, you guys. We're going to be talking more about this more in depth. If you have questions, of course, leave them down below.
Did I even answer the question? What is Ultra? Soil prebiotics.
Yeah, it's a soil
microbially derived, but there's no live strains of bacteria in the bottle. That's what makes us separate.
What sets you apart.
What sets us apart. So yeah.
I think that's a good deal.
Prebiotic.
Prebiotics, this is something we're bringing. We actually have samples on our farm. Luke left them when he came a while ago.
Right.
We're going to be starting our trial. We also know like a lot of other people that we look up to, Nathan and I, have been doing this and have had great success. So I'm real excited about that. Also, another thing, I want you to
Do you look up to me?
I do look up to you.
Yeah.
He just got a great farm.
I've had great success for...
He was like, okay, don't judge my farm, and I come and it's beautiful, it's orderly, there's like, you can tell there's systems in place without
There's
even
weeds all over
asking
the
you.
place.
It's great. So if you could recommend anyone or any few people that they could follow if they are wanting to know more about market gardening, market farming, like high production, things like that, who would you recommend that we send them to?
Oh, there's so many good resources out there. Top of my list for like the value, from what I see, is Michael Kilpatrick stuff.
Yeah.
Growing Farmers. Listen to the podcast.
Love the podcast.
The podcast is extremely fun. If you want to get all the in-depth like designs, jump into an online community with like a private Facebook group, get private laser coaching sessions with Michael, join Small Farm University. Really cool value there. Yeah, I just lay it over it. So just pull it tight.
Good night, plants.
It's good.
It's great. All right, so we are driving up just down their driveway. They're gonna cook dinner for us. Like I said, Michael Kilpatrick, the Thriving Farmer podcast, is what I would listen to every day when I would go to work. I'd listen to it while I was working. I listened to it in my lunch breaks. Like, it just really inspired me hearing all these different farmers tell their stories. It kind of just gave me hope that like, hey, if they can do this, I can do this. And granted, I had to shift my plans. I realized that I was a lot more effective using our channel and our influence to teach and educate others, because I am, Nathan helps as much as he could, but I can't run a market farm by myself. And I think I had to just realize those things and adjust as needed. But something that I wanted to do, and this is something Nathan and I talked about, and then COVID happened, was going around and traveling and talking to all these different growers, whether they're homesteaders, backyard gardeners, market farmers, and get their perspective, get their advice. This is something that we're hoping to do more of. I think there's so much value in seeing how other people do it. We tell you guys how we do it, but we're doing it based off of our needs in the space we're in. And so you might have learned something from Luke that resonated with you, that stuck with you, that inspired you. And that's my hope, is just to kind of broadcast and showcase other people. That way we can all just kind of build this online community together, inspire each other to grow food and garden and homestead. I'm really thankful that he let us come to Missouri this weekend, that they put us up on a beautiful cabin in the river, but we're about to go eat some great dinner. Do you have any words?
No words.
Well, we are headed home tomorrow, and we are probably just going to enjoy some family time. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with us this weekend, but we will talk to you soon.
Bye, guys.
Girls, say bye. Bye.